We are live.
Hi, everybody. We have Yasmin Alic today with us. And Yasmin, you've reinvented yourself more times than most people there. You were rapper, teacher, coach, diplomat, community builder. Uh, what identity did you have to kill to become who you are now?
Neither.
Neither.
No, zero identities killed. I feel like I've just been very good at using my transferable skills from one career, then into another, then into another, then into another. So the way you describe it, I was a rapper. I still write every day to this day. I'm still creative. I'm still creating something every day. I was a teacher, first kindergarten, then primary school, then high school, then university professor. I'm a coach now. We just call it a different thing. So I'm still
Yeah.
teaching every single
Mhm,
day.
mhm,
And the whole influence part and doing global work and putting your country on the map and literally doing something bigger than business, which is the diplomatic passport part now.
mhm.
Um, it's just, it's a blessing to be able to actually have all these careers in the past that are actually useful today for me in the present and hopefully into the future. I just feel like that's part of growth, like you leave one part behind, but you don't necessarily have to leave all the things behind. And I keep
Mhm.
telling people there's one or two or 10 skills from every job or every career you've already had that you can still use. A lot of people don't use them. So don't blame me for having an unfair advantage. It is what it is. I'm just using, whatever skills I have.
So, is the Nobel Prize somewhere in the horizon right now?
I just want to, I just want to survive, man. We're good.
Okay. So, what excites you the most right now? And is there something that scares you about it?
What excites me right now? Well, I just posted about it. I
Mhm.
just posted about it last week. I mean, just a couple of days ago on LinkedIn. Um, there's currently some problems on LinkedIn. People are getting restricted.
Mhm.
Things are not clear. People don't
Mhm.
know why. I am one of those people. I had to use my platform for good to help everyone, literally every single user on LinkedIn. So, what excites me right now is fixing that situation. And I've offered my help to LinkedIn for free of charge. I'll even travel to the US
Mhm.
if that's what it takes. Currently, something is in the works. I can't discuss it yet. Okay. So, for everyone, I know a lot of people are going to ask because everyone saw that post. We've got a bazillion engagements on that post and a whole lot of reposts because everyone's going through it. And a lot of people have been asking, "Hey, dude, any updates? Did LinkedIn reach out? Did you get that meeting? Did you?" I can't tell you anything yet.
Mhm.
I'm working on it. Okay, but maybe middle of next week or end of next week, maybe I'll let you know. Whenever I know something, the whole world's gonna know because I take it as my personal responsibility to help the entire platform because I've been here for such a long time. And this issue of restricting people with no clarity, it needs to be fixed. So yeah, I'm excited to fix that for all of us. That's the first thing that's on my mind, genuinely.
Great. So, okay, but let's start with the basics. When I talked to Uta Alexandra Kral, a German leadership communication coach, she said something that stuck with me, that top performers obsess over basics. Even Kobe Bryant was famous for drilling fundamentals. So let's start brutally simple. If someone has zero community today, what exactly do they do in the first 30 days?
This is what I tell everyone. If you want to get started on LinkedIn the right way and actually build something for the future, you don't even have to post for the first 30 days. And
Mhm.
I'm dead serious about this. You don't have to write a single post. Just spend 30 days in the comment sections of other people's accounts. There's so many benefits to this. Number one, you're not stressing about what to post. How do you show up as an expert? That's the number one problem for a lot of people who come to LinkedIn and they see all this value in the feed, and then they're stuck overthinking what's going to be my post? What do I write about? What are my content pillars? Blah, blah, blah. You see, we're already overthinking it.
Mhm.
Don't. Just don't post at all at the very first time you log in, first month if it has to be. Just comment, hang out in the feeds of other people. This now brings extra benefits, which is commenting is just much faster. You don't spend as much time, okay? And Thank you, Annalena. Join link up. Thank you. um,
That's good advice.
that's very
Actually,
good advice. You can just join my community. The easy answer, yeah. I just let my people, my members, my link up community, I just let them speak about it. I don't sell link up much. Like I don't have to. Like genuinely, the people who join, they see the value, and then they're just shouting about it. Thank
Mhm.
God. But yeah, I wanted to say about commenting. It's much faster. It's easier. Also, you're writing as you're commenting. A lot of people don't understand the process that happens in the human brain. Commenting is no different to writing
Yeah.
as far as the process that goes on right here. You're still
Mhm.
creating something, right? You're
Mhm.
still expressing your thoughts. You're still writing down something that was created here, and then you're just transferring it to a piece of paper, or in this case, to a screen, keyboards. So you're already writing. So what then ends up happening is the more you do this, the more you engage with other experts, the more you react to other people's thoughts, the more you own your own thoughts, the more you're now comfortable sharing your own thoughts. So
Mhm.
this is an easy way to literally just take some of those comments that have performed even slightly well, publish them as posts. To this day, years later on LinkedIn, 1,000+ posts later, I'm not going to exaggerate when I say that 80% of my posts that end up being published started off as comments. 80% of my content was literally just a comment somewhere on somebody's post. Why? Because I already get that verification from others that it's going to work. It's
Mhm.
going to perform. If a mini comment, right, several lines gets hundreds of likes or tens of thousands of impressions, that's already proof enough for me to be very confident about making it longer and publishing it as a post. Also, you just end up being in front of more people. I feel like that's the unspoken benefit to all of this: visibility, visibility, visibility. That's a big problem. I feel like this year, last year especially, maybe half of 2024 as well. I feel like the reach, the LinkedIn reach, the impressions or numbers of views you get per post, they've steadily been declining for
Mhm.
everyone, even myself, right? The views have been declining per post on average. And I always tell people, like, it's not the algorithm's job to push you. The
Yeah.
algorithm doesn't owe you anything. Quite literally. Not who are you, right? Who
Mhm.
are you? The algorithm doesn't care. But if you put yourself out there in all of these networks, people are going to notice. And even if you just get a small fraction, 1%, 5% of them, back to your profile, where they check out your profile, they like you, and they hit follow, you're now building your community every day, day in and day out. But you have to keep doing it. You have to be out there first. You have to give in order to get. It doesn't work any other way. And I tell this to every single client I coach, every single member who joins the community link up. I tell
Mhm.
them, if you're just going to be one dimensional where you're posting and expecting people to show up for you, it's not going to happen,
Mhm.
right? The typical excuse I hear is, oh, but who has time for that? And I'm like, the same people you expect to show up for you. So you
Excellent.
expect others to invest time and effort to show up for you, but you don't want to invest that same time and effort. Doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. So I'll stop right here. It was a very long answer. But yeah, if I could do anything right when I'm joining LinkedIn, it's all of this. Commenting, genuinely. It puts you at ease. Your mind starts to think more. You get more content ideas, and you just get way more visibility than just posting forever.
And I like it because you get the ideas what to talk about by just in working with the content that you want to interfere with and have your opinion or expertise on.
And that is a brilliant point because a lot of people engage with completely irrelevant content.
Mhm.
So what ends up happening, right? When you're in the feed right now, like if you go to your LinkedIn right now, open up the app, as you're scrolling, a lot of those notifications will say, Robert Scheffman commented on this post.
Mhm.
Your network is being served content by you, but that content isn't yours. And
Mhm.
that is exactly why this also belongs to positioning, to
Mhm.
thought leadership on LinkedIn. A lot of people never understand this part. They engage with completely irrelevant content, and people actually unfollow them. Not because of your own post, right? Which is ironic. Not because of whatever you feel like, oh, this is my business. They unfollow you because you're engaging with stupid stuff that has nothing to do with your industry. I have to be very blunt, right?
Mhm.
Like, as a financial expert, What business do you have commenting on freaking, I don't know, nutrition advice?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's something like really genuinely useful, but it's not going to be every day. It's not going to be every day. So I tell this to people as well, right? Be there, like wherever those industry conversations are happening, it's going to come back to you, like more ideas, more conversations, more everything, and more visibility by the right people, precisely the right people that you're targeting anyhow, because they're hanging out over there where the conversations are happening. So relevance is a huge factor in engagement. Again, a lot of people are just commenting for the sake of it, commenting because someone told them, oh, you need to be commenting X amount of times. It doesn't work that way. Relevance is a big factor.
Absolutely. So Alicia Teltz, a former LinkedIn employee, said
visibility. She's a great one.
Yeah. She says visibility increases perceived value. So people treat you better when you look like you matter.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is also why all of those great posts, oh, I like this, comments like that, they serve zero value to you. First off, they almost serve zero value to whoever you're commenting on, because it's like they're going to get hundreds of those. Like, you don't stand out, right? And then it's just boring and annoying for the creator to simply say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's very boring, right? It's a boring process. Sure, it's positive, but it's boring and it doesn't benefit you in terms of thought leadership, positioning, in terms of premium. But when you're always adding to the conversation, you're adding something of your own, you're contributing to the conversation. If, I don't know, Alicia posted something, here's 7 things. Here's Yasmin. Oh, here's something all of us forget. Here's number 8. Here's number 8. Yeah. All of a sudden, people will see those kinds of posts from you, because best believe those are posts under other people's posts. Because comments like that then become thoughts. And that's all we're really doing on LinkedIn. We're just sharing our thoughts. But if we're just sharing thoughts that everyone can have, you don't stand out. And that's the perceived value, right? If you're just like everyone else, who's going to buy from you? If you're just like everyone else, who's going to follow you? If you're just like everyone else, why would I ever want to hear back from you? So give people more value, as generic as it sounds, in every part of your LinkedIn activity. Comments, replies, hell, even if you have to disagree with people, right? It's fine, but professionally disagree. Don't just be like, oh, this is stupid, bro, right? Say, ask a question like, could you really explain what do you mean by number 3? Because in my experience, this is entirely different with my clients. See how those 2 statements are completely different? One is very insulting, even though you're disagreeing. One is very professional and you're actually contributing to the conversation. So a lot of people need communications training as well. But I guess you kind of get there. The more you do this, the more you get there, right? The more you improve in communicating genuinely.
Yeah, and it provokes the answers and communication if you do it the second way.
And more people show up as well, like people you've never interacted with, possible clients. Heck, this is how I get every single client. This is how I get every single link up member, man. They see you somewhere else, or they see someone else talking about you, and there's this discussion, whether positive, whether negative, doesn't matter. But there's a discussion happening because you said something, right? And then if you contribute, and then they're like, oh, I like this person. I really vibe with their style of thinking. They visit your profile. There's a clear offer. Bada, bada, bing, boom. They purchase. They're a client. As easy as that. So you got to be out there constantly. You can't count on the algorithm's mercy to place you somewhere out there in the world. You just can't. You shouldn't even.
Okay, but let me say this. I like doing push-ups, and I can do a lot. But I see a lot of people that can only do 1, 2, 3, and I don't blame them, and I don't pity them, because you have to start somewhere, and you can't be like Yasmin, who is doing 400 and more comments per day. You can do it in a year. But start
also,
somewhere.
I feel like I have to keep clarifying this. Like, look, for me, it's very easy to do hundreds of comments per day. Very easy. Why? Because 90% of my comments are replies on my own posts, my own posts specifically, right? Because you can look at every single one of my posts. Heck, for this year so far, I've been averaging 2,000 comments per post per week. Per post, 2K, which is nuts. And I only manage, this is the part that no one sees, I only manage to respond to maybe 200 to 300 per post, not more. Why? Because I'm only human, man, right? I'm only human. But Here's now the part where people are like, how does he manage to do hundreds of comments per day? Where does he find the time? It literally takes me an hour, man. I sit down, and I've done these live. Like, you can check this out. You can find it, YouTube, whatever. I've done my commenting sessions live where I literally just sit down and I have 1 hour focused, just commenting with my community. I'm replying, engaging, right? Replying, just having fun with people, genuinely. But that's why I'm able to do it, because I get so much. But now the question is, how did you get to this point where you are actually getting these many comments? Well, I've been doing it for years inversely. I've been doing 90% commenting in the feed, supporting other people every day, until the point was reached where I was getting hundreds of comments back on every single post. And then that percentage kind of shifted. I went to commenting less and less and less in the feed, and commenting, meaning replying, more and more and more under my own posts. And that is how a community is built. When people ask me, like, what is a community? How do you build a community? I just give them this reason. Following, building a huge follower base, and community are different. So having 100,000 followers could literally mean nothing for you if you haven't built a community, because it's very different. Just chasing follower counts, follower numbers, you see it. Like, I don't have to tell you. You see a lot of creators out there. This is no knock on anyone, by the way. These are just facts. You see a lot of accounts out there with 500,000, literally 500,000 followers, 1 million plus followers. And how do I phrase this so it sounds correctly? And they're getting out engaged. They're getting outperformed by accounts with 10,000 followers. Their posts are literally getting much more engagement, many more views, much more traction, and possibly, I know this because I have a lot of those clients who are, big account numbers. They're generating much more revenue from their content. So you genuinely don't need that much following. What you need is a stronger community, man. But now the homework goes into effect. Like, people have to start. They have to start being out there. They have to start supporting others first in order to build this feeling and sense of community. And a lot of people just don't want to do it. They just don't want to, a whole lot of excuses.
But it's so easy to start with 1 comment today, 2 tomorrow, 3 the day after tomorrow, and you just have to start.
Yep, exactly. I mean, look, a good following is beneficial in the sense that you can always count on someone viewing your post, right? Because at that point, it's normal for the algorithm to be like, oh, this is a bigger account, therefore we have a bigger group of first-degree connections that we can serve it to, especially at the very beginning, right? Especially in like that first hour, first 2 or 3 hours. I feel like that's possibly the only benefit to a big following. But again, that can also stop. Like, that can also just stop if you don't build that feeling of community. Like, you can, again, I can repeat this so many times, like this example of small accounts outperforming with their engagement and with their revenue and with everything, the bigger accounts. Like, they're just outperforming them. Why? Because a following means nothing if you haven't built trust and community. And these are just facts. People can throw research, data, algorithm, whatever out there, but these are facts. And we see it every day in the feed. Like, small accounts are genuinely performing better than the bigger ones. Why? Because then real life comes in. The more people grow, the less time they have for LinkedIn, the more time they have to spend in the business. And then it's like, how much time do I still dedicate to actually being on LinkedIn and engaging with my community? And then you see a whole lot of creators kind of fall off, in terms of numbers, right? Not in terms of quality of work and revenue, but in terms of numbers. And then they're complaining, oh, the algorithm doesn't love me anymore. No, it's not true. The algorithm still loves you. Right? The algorithm still loves you. It's just that you're not telling people, hey, I love you too. I love you still. You're literally ignoring people. You're not responding. You're not contributing. Naturally, people are just going to forget about you. They're not going to want to reciprocate. That's just how it works. It's like with relationships. You could be together for 10 years, man. And then it just kind of dwindles away and people get separated. It is what it is. But because you got to keep showing up. Even 10 years later, 20 years later, you got to keep showing up. It is what it is. This is just the nature of human relationships.
But what would you say is the difference between an audience and a community in practical terms?
An audience can just be passive. They can literally just be so all of those impressions that you see under your posts, these are people reading your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what are those impressions for if they're not engaging, if they're not following, if they're not DMing,
Mm-hmm.
right? If they're not following up on the view. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of throw everything into reader activity into one bucket, but there's different types of reader activities. Number one is the reading, the view, the impression. That's activity number one, right? That's the impression, and that's the number you see under your post.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have the like, the public support, the comment, the public sharing, right? The repost, if you will, and then the DMs, the purchase, the becoming a client. And I feel like a lot of people never move. They never move from activity number one. They're gonna get a lot of impressions, but they're never gonna have an audience. That's the audience. That's literally just step one, is when you have an audience reading it, but that audience never moves into the category of community because they're not willing to publicly endorse you. They're not willing to publicly share. They're not willing to publicly engage. And furthermore, they're not willing to go even a step further to reach out to you directly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference to me between an audience, which is just passively reading without actually doing anything more, and an actual community, which does a whole lot more. And then community goes to clientele. That's the third step.
So do you think that linked up is the third step?
Or just want to get me to sell, man, my community. Like whoever wants, look, guys, I run a community. I have a paid coaching community. I'll just go out and say it's the best community in the world. These are word for word testimonials from other people. If you want, join me. I coach live. We got other coaches in there who are coaching live. We got the best resources. We got the best vibes. We're flying people all around the world. Currently, we have 65 countries in the community, not origin countries, but where people are situated, where people are living in. That's it. And you have a lifetime option too. So you can just join once and you'll be with me forever. That's it. So I really don't feel the need to sell my community that much, Robert. I'll be very honest, because the people are just shouting about it.
Yeah.
Like the people who are joining the community, they love it so much to the point where they feel the need to tell other people about it. And I'm just proud of it, man. I'm just proud of it. We've done amazingly well. Alhamdulillah. Thank God. I'm just proud of the entire community, and they're achieving amazing results as well. So I feel like that's also the part I don't talk about enough. I'm just so proud of everyone who's doing what they're supposed to and actually making a difference. So yeah, man, thank you for pushing me, but like I don't feel the need to sell it that much. If anyone wants to, Robert, do you have a code?
Yes, of course.
Use Robert's code. It's Robert, I think. Robert, right? Just at the checkout link, just put in, and there we go. There's a lot of link up community members right now in the comment section. Best community. Join. Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
So Martina is asking, what is a good community? What do you say?
What is a good community? A good community is a place where you feel heard and accepted.
Yeah.
A lot of communities are, again, this is no knock on anyone. These are just facts. There's a big difference between educational and coaching communities. There's a big difference here. Mm-hmm. Educational communities, so it's pre-recorded materials, right? Pre-recorded materials. It's a weekly call where it isn't necessarily themed, it's just, Q&A. But typically the way most communities do it is they bring in guest speakers. So the host is actually outshined by the guests. I never allow that to happen, no matter who I bring in as a guest, sometimes from time to time. So we don't have guests always. And the other part is there's a lot of shortcuts and templates. Again, pre-created stuff, if you will, like stuff that's made, pre-made. And that is the educational part. A lot of communities are like this. So I feel like the only point of engagement are those weekly calls. And again, a lot of those, like 90% of those, aren't even with the hosts. They're with guest speakers. A coaching community is a place where the recordings are happening live and updated live, meaning the calls are actually relevant, and you can even vote and request masterclasses. You can create your plan. And I always get feedback in my community, like, what do you want to have next? Like, what's a masterclass that we haven't done? What's a masterclass that we haven't done yet? And then they're going to tell me, like, look, dude, we don't know how to create a website, a landing page. Literally, one of the next masterclasses is I will take one person from the community live, and I will build an entire website live on the call. And then they will know, I don't SEO stuff, like everything. I don't even care what the topic is. Like, I'm just gonna do it and build it for them. Currently in the community, we have over 110 hours of video training. 110 hours. Another part is the host. Again, the host, the main coach, never gets outshined. Like, you clearly know where the authority is, and you clearly know where the main source of knowledge is, and you got to keep coming back because your coach is your lodestar, right? It's your guiding star, and the coach always kind of sets the tone, sets the standard for the energy, sets the tone for the behavior. What else? It keeps you challenged and it keeps you accountable. This year, I did my challenges and accountability part differently. I created an app within the community where we have daily tasks. Like, you literally have to do daily tasks. No batch work on Sundays doesn't count. And you have daily tasks and weekly tasks where I'm challenging you to think outside the box, right? But it's all for your own benefit, for more visibility, more clientele. And it's fun. I feel like the fun part is something I'm the most proud of because people just love each other. That's because I attract a certain type of energy. I'm not your typical, sales bro, like leads, do this much per month. Like, I don't care about that stuff. First, you're going to get in, you're going to learn the basics. You're going to learn the psychology behind building a business. Then it's going to work. And then you're going to tell me all about your results. When you finally achieve it, good for you. Now just keep on doing it. I'm not going to go throw in, this whole song and dance about, oh, we got this many leads, this many followers, this many. Those are all good metrics, but that's not just why we do business. We also reward our members. There's so many rewards, man. At the end of the year, like, I do these awards, literally awards, like most coachable, MVP, like who watched the most resources, like who's the most active, blah, blah, blah. Every quarter, man, you just got me talking about LinkUp. When I start talking about LinkUp, this is precisely why I don't want to talk about LinkUp that much because it's my baby, man. It's my favorite business.
But you actually implemented, I think, best practices in there. So it's like a show up of what you should and could do.
Yeah, but you got to keep it interesting, The reason why a lot of communities fail, by the way, fun fact, a lot of communities fail in the first year, or they barely make it like after the anniversary, the first year. And then it just crumbles because people don't renew. It crumbles. Because it's challenging to keep people engaged. Luckily for myself, alhamdulillah, thank God, I used to be a teacher. I used to be a professor at the university. Like, I was a teacher at every level. And I have a lot of those, neat little tricks to keep the students engaged. It's almost like a classroom. So I love giving, very good challenges, and I love keeping the fun up, like at a certain level. Every quarter, we also bring one member from the community to my country, to Bosnia. Like, based on the challenges, you win a paid trip, a paid flight. You win a hotel, for 3 nights, and you get in-person coaching from me. And then, like, people are asking, like, when is this person going to fly out? And then they find out, and then everyone comes, and we have these meetups. I've already done 4 meetups. I just did one 5 days ago in Dubai. So I've done one in Sarajevo. I've done one in New York. I've done another one in Sarajevo, Bosnia, and then Dubai. And then the next one is going to be April, Sarajevo again, Bosnia. And then we have, I'm not going to give you the full list, but this year I feel like we're going to do 5 or 6 international meetups. Because remember, we got 65 countries in the community. And thank you to everyone right now who's in the comment section just dropping love for the LinkUp community. Thank you guys, means the world. Also, whoever wants to join, use Robert's code, make him some money. And also, you're going to say some money. So the code is Robert, literally. Just use the code Robert at checkout.
I think Maya Berger asked where to join. And
there's a link right below my name. It should be somewhere. LinkUp by Yasmin. Or just go to my LinkedIn profile. You'll find it. It's the only link on my profile.
Yeah.
There you
go.
Thank you for allowing me to ramble about LinkUp. I don't do it often, but again, I don't need to because I'm so thankful for every member, man. They're talking about it. And, everyone's happy, man.
I think there's something bigger in it, because I think we have countries, we have politicians, we have all this kind of stuff. But we also have the communities like yours that is spreading around the world and doing great stuff, doing stuff on the, I don't know, entrepreneurial level that helps people with surviving, with living better life and finding purpose and things like that. And I think it's really important. That's why I mentioned the Nobel Prize at the beginning. I think that's a real stuff.
Hey
Not just
man,
the
the
diplomatic.
impact. I'll be. I think I wrote about this last year, and not a lot of people got it. Right, not a lot of people understood the point of that post. I wrote something about how the money isn't the end goal,
Mm-hmm.
and it truly isn't. Like for me, look, man, a lot of people don't know this about me, right? Tomorrow is my birthday, actually. So tomorrow is my birthday. I was born in the middle of a war, like quite literally, the middle of a freaking war. That's where I was born. That's when I was born. And then by age 4, the war had stopped, and then we had to rebuild from scratch. Like we completely had to rebuild from scratch. So we are so used to not having a lot and just sharing with our neighbors and helping the people closest to you in need. So for me, money was never like this big goal in life. That's not how I started life. That's not how I was raised. It was just about, hey man, you have enough to be happy. And then help the person next to you. Like whatever you can do that you have at your disposal, just help people. And for me, like it's the same stance in business. Money is great. It's a great result of your effort, but ultimately, money is not the thing that satisfies you. It's the impact in the things that you actually cannot measure.
Yeah.
Examples: when someone, like one of my clients or someone who's actually just been learning from my free content on LinkedIn, when someone messages you and they say, look, man, I've been able to put my daughter to an Ivy League school because of you. Or when someone lets me know, hey, man, my family's net worth grew by 40% in just 1 year. Or when someone tells me, dude, I have this is something I've received countless times. Because of you, I've left my job. I quit my job. And now I'm doing something that I actually enjoy, something that I actually believe in. And it's because of you, because of the tips and advice you already shared for free on LinkedIn. And now these people, I kid you not, they are waiting for like the very first big paycheck, the very first big client, and they're sending you money just as a thank you. Not even as a client. They're just, I wanted to book a coaching session with you for the longest time. I didn't have the money. Now I do. Here it is. You don't even have to give me the session. They're just like, here's a thank you as a symbol for what you've done for me. So for me, that part, that impact that you can't measure, that you don't even see. And at this point, it's tens of millions of people that we've impacted through the content, through the webinars, through the trainings, through the keynotes, through the community, through the clientele, through everything I'm doing online. That sort of stuff is what gets me going, man. That sort of stuff is what gets me motivated. That sort of stuff is what makes me happy. The money is a nice little result, but this part is just invaluable, man. It's immeasurable. Yeah, that's the answer. That's the correct answer.
Great. So I like because the community you're creating is can benefit from you on so many different levels. Like you said, they can start with small things like starting commenting on perhaps on your post because they're educational from day to day. So you're putting everything you know together every day for free, and they can just start with that. And after they learn, and you also always support the small accounts, what we all should do. And I am appealing to everyone who's listening right now to do so, to follow your example, and to help other people, the beginners, with the support. And then after you get the traction, you can get into the paid community. You have
Exactly.
all the time in at your disposal. You just have to invest. And at the first, it's it's the easiest thing to invest is your time and energy and get some traction, and then you grow and grow, because you cannot start at the top. You always start at the bottom and then grow up from there.
Exactly, man. And this is also not to say, like, for everyone who might be disagreeing in the comments, this is not to say money doesn't matter, money is a bad thing. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's just that money isn't everything.
Mhm.
You know, at least I'm of that opinion. Money isn't everything. Money is great. You should be chasing money. Everyone should. Like, otherwise you can't survive. You can't feed your family, right? But if you missed the message, just please watch it again. I didn't say money is bad. I didn't say you shouldn't be rich. I didn't say you shouldn't be chasing it. You shouldn't be building your business, building more clients, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, ultimately, when it's all said and done, money comes and goes. Your impact outlasts you, outlasts your entire life. That's what gets me going, man.
Yeah, agree. So a lot of people are asking about the offers and about how to combine or see.
I'm just writing a post about that for tomorrow.
Oh, great! So give us a little upfront info on that.
Give me a second. Let me switch tabs. So in terms of offers, like, a lot of people are overcomplicating it, right? They're trying to find something that's super unique, something that's never been said before, something that's never been done before, because they feel like, oh, there's a lot of people I'm seeing on LinkedIn who do the same thing as me, who are in the same industry as me. Yeah, that's normal, dude. Like, there's 1.2 billion users on the platform. It's very normal, right? How many other LinkedIn coaches do you have out there in the freaking feed? There's thousands of them.
Yeah.
Right? But something, and whatever that something is, I know the answer. For me, I know the answer for me. Whatever that something is, it draws you to one particular person more so than all the other thousands and tens of thousands. Because there's something about the person, not necessarily the offer, that draws you in. So I feel like that's point number one. A lot of people overcomplicate the offer, and they just don't understand that their nature, their attitude, their voice, their behavior, their purity, if you will, or their aggressiveness, that's what pulls people in more so than the actual offer. But speaking about the offer, here's what matters the most. 3 things. You have to get clear. I will highlight this word as many times as it takes today, because a lot of people try to sound very clever to the point where they feel like, oh, I said the coolest thing, but no one understands what you're doing. So get clear on number 1, what you do. What's your service? What do you do? What is your service? Who you do it for? And this could be as niche as possible or as broad as possible. Totally your call. I am of the opinion that niching down isn't necessary. It's not necessary. You can, sure, but you don't have to. So if someone tells you, oh, you have to, it's the only way. It's not the only way. It's not the only way. I've done this many times, guys. This is year 17 for me in the online business world. Year 17. So believe me when I tell you something, I'm speaking from experience, okay? Get clear on what you do. Get clear on who you do it for. And number 3, the part I literally see missing in at least 95% of LinkedIn profiles. What's the next step? What's the next step? How do I reach you? Where do I click? Where do I go? This is the part where a lot of people miss. And it's as simple as looking at your banner and not having a freaking call to action, not having a freaking next step, not telling me, dude, here's the link, it's below, book a call with me. People will do the whole, here's my business, here's what I do, here's my service, and here's who I do it for, and the social proof, the testimonials. But they're not going to tell the audience, the viewer, the profile visitor, they're not going to tell them what to do. And that's where it falls apart. That's where it genuinely falls apart. And now the bigger problem is, right? You think you have an optimized profile because someone told you, get clear on your offer. Get clear on the next step. This is the big part that a lot of people miss. Get clear on the next step. What do you want me to do when I'm on your profile? You are in charge of where I click. You are in charge of where I end up. You're not giving me the flexibility to go and find more about your work, to find out what your service is. You're in charge of where I click. Tell me in the banner, tell me in the blue link, tell me in the premium link, tell me in the featured section, tell me everywhere. What's the next step? A lot of people don't do that. Or even worse, they send you to a freaking homepage. And a homepage has a ton of buttons, a ton of navigation up top. And then again, you have no control over where the audience clicks. So this is the part that genuinely matters the most. Get clear on what you do, who you do it for, what the next step is. Because now here's what happens. And I've had clients like this. At one point, there was a client with 800,000 followers. This was 3 years ago now, maybe even 4. 800,000 followers. Going viral with, as you can imagine, going viral with every single post because it's good stories. They're emotional. People are resharing, reposting. But then they book a call. And the first question I ask, what are your numbers in terms of revenue? How much money are you making from LinkedIn? The answer, 0. She hasn't made a dime from LinkedIn. And I just literally fixed it within 5 seconds to the point where we ended the call very quickly. We go to the profile and there's no offer whatsoever. There's no next step. There's no URL. There's no link. Sending all of these. Now you can imagine 800,000 followers and literally every single day there's a post, 7 days per week. So much virality, so much traffic. And everyone's like, not everyone, but a huge chunk of people are going to end up on your profile. And they do absolutely nothing. Why? You can't blame them. You only have yourself to blame because you're not telling them, this is what I want you to do. This is where I want you to click. This is where I want you to go next. And it's as simple as, hey, I want to grow my newsletter. Sign up for my newsletter where you're going to get XYZ. Here's the link below. Place it on your profile at least 3 times. Banner, blue link, featured link, 3 times. Tell the audience, tell the profile visitor where they need to go. If you want more bookings, book me for a call, invite me to speak, whatever. Here. Banner, blue link, featured link. A lot of people miss that. And then they focus on everything we've discussed at the beginning of this live. Then they comment a lot, they get a lot of traffic, then they start posting, they get a lot of traffic, and it still doesn't happen. People tell me all the time, like, Yasmin, I've been active on LinkedIn for a while, and I'm not getting any inbound leads. I'm not getting any inquiries. And I'm like, well, do you really fully have your optimized profile set up? And then they're like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, if I go to your profile right now, are you actually telling me what to do? Are you actually telling me what to do? Or are you telling me what you do? Big difference. Big difference, right? So again, I'll repeat, if you want to have a genuinely clear offer and you want to have it figured out and want to be confident that all of this activity, all of this commenting and replying and posting isn't going in vain, be clear on what you do, be clear on who you do it for, and be clear on the next step. And that next step should be mentioned in the banner, in the blue link, and in the first featured link. That is when you can be confident. Now I have an optimized profile, right? So I'll leave it at that for now.
But I want to get into something that's similar, and this is with at the end of the post. You do the same thing.
What do you mean? Like leaving links or?
No. Just tell them what to do, how to comment.
Exactly. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
That's a great point about posts, right? And then not getting a lot of engagement under the post. I tell people all the time, it's as simple as psychologically giving permission to people to comment. This is literally what it is. You just got to ask a freaking question, man. There's so many posts, and I know, like, whoever's watching this, I'm going to look you in the eyes. I know you felt this before. You've read a beautiful LinkedIn post, but then you're like stuck because you have no clue what to comment on that post. And then you waste more time waiting, thinking about, what do I comment? What do I actually write under this post, right? To the point where it starts to feel not enjoyable. And this is due to the fact that people are not asking good questions. They're not asking good questions. There's a difference between asking questions, period, and asking good questions. Asking deep questions, asking very open-ended questions is great for sales calls. It's great for negotiations. It's great for discovery calls. It's great to get to know your client. But on a LinkedIn post, people aren't spending 5 minutes of their time, A, thinking about what to write, B, writing an essay under your post. You can't expect people to do that. So make it easy to engage, as easy as that. Or don't be a freaking, this is what we call bait and switch. Don't be a freaking sales bro and have people read all the way till the end and then just leave a link at the very end. There's not a problem with adding links, by the way. Adding links to your post is very okay. It's not going to hurt your reach. We already know this. It's not going to hurt your reach. The problem is you make the entire post a sale. And then what ends up happening in the algorithm, check this. Think about impressions, right? The number you see under your post. Think of it as a kindergarten game. Every view you get, every impression you get is either green or red. It's either good or bad. What is a good impression? What is a bad impression? What is a good view? What is a bad view? Right? Here's what happens. When you add a link to the end of your post, people read. They get there and then they leave. They don't like your post. They don't leave a comment. But to LinkedIn, to the algorithm, the view has already been registered. That view now becomes red. It receives the color red. Who's to blame? Now you're going to say, oh, I added a link. LinkedIn hurt my reach. Like it decreased my reach. No. You did that. You literally told people, hey, thanks for reading my post. Now get out of here. That's what you're doing psychologically. You made them read your post. It was a beautiful piece, but then you just had to, right? You had to switch into sales mode. And then you're sending people away. And that is not the correct way to do it. That is not the correct way to add links. You only have yourself to blame. Because if you make the entire point of the post for people to click your link, don't blame the algorithm when all of the impressions turn red, and then the algorithm has no choice but to actually stop showing your reach, your post to more people. You can't blame the algorithm.
So, but how do you turn a comment when you get it, then into a client without sounding
Ask them questions. Ask them questions. Look, a lot of people underestimate the nature of asking questions to strangers. Here's why. When someone comments on a post, when someone comments on your post, it's already public. They're now inviting engagement, right? So now feel free to actually drop something below, ask them a question that you find relevant to determine whether this person might actually be someone you might consider working with. If Robert commented, I don't know, dude, but whenever I add a link to a LinkedIn post, it always decreases my reach. And then there's big ol' Yasmin under Robert's comment replying, no, Robert. No, Robert. I'm sorry, but this is not true. Every piece of data that I have and that we have all across the world of LinkedIn shows that it's not the URLs that are hurting the reach. It's the psychological nature of pushing people away, right? Have you tried doing it differently? And then Robert is like, hi, Yasmin, that's actually a really great point. And now this is your perfect segue into their DMs. You see, you're making them think in a different way. You're challenging what they already know. Isn't that what a good coach does? Isn't that what you're supposed to do for your clients anyhow? You're supposed to challenge their thinking. You're supposed to change their minds. You're supposed to give them something new, a new roadmap that they didn't have before. You're just giving it to them in advance. And then when you reach out in the DMs, it's a very natural conversation because trust has already been established. They trust you based off of one freaking reply. And then you can just reach out into the DMs. Hey, Robert, I enjoyed, our little conversation in the comments this morning. Mind if I ask you, what else is bothering you on LinkedIn? You see? And then Robert, because he now feels comfortable, because he knows I come from a good place, because I've already given him one free advice. I've already given you one free advice. I've already asked you a question out of interest. Then when I'm in this is a specific example to me, obviously. You can do this for any industry, any niche, any job, any career. But then I would just ask him, is there anything else that you might feel like, it's bothering you? And then Robert's going to tell me, cool, dude. If it interests you, I do this, I do that, I do that. I'm happy to discuss a good price for you. Or if you're actually interested, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how you can turn any comment into a sales conversation and into a client. You just have to be out there. You can't expect other people to do all the work for you.
And you have to wait to get this signal that they're interested in what you are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can do it by asking better questions in your posts, like actually inviting the comments underneath your posts. Or you can just find their comments, on other people's posts. It's fine. Because people are like telling you, hey, dude, I commented. I'm okay to be disagreed with. It's okay to disagree with people. You just got to do it professionally.
Yeah, like you mentioned at the beginning, and you showed the perfect example.
There you go.
Okay, we have a question.
Good view or bad views? That what happens with impressive? Well, that's exactly what is happening, right? Because imagine if a post is getting a whole lot of traffic and zero traction. You think LinkedIn is going to keep pushing it? Hell no. Hell no. There's several factors that kind of impact how it gets distributed. There's broadness of topic. There's the importance of topic, relevance in terms of time, relevance to LinkedIn as a platform. Like this is why job search topics, they always get more impressions. Like those posts just by nature, because LinkedIn is a freaking job search platform. Like they're pushing it out there. It's fine. But in general, you can, like, I literally just explained it as a child's play, as a kindergarten play. Like just think of impressions as green and red. It's as simple as that. If you're telling people, hey, thanks for reading, now shoot, go away, and there's no activity happening under your post, you can't expect an empty post to remain empty after tens of thousands of impressions and still somehow get distribution. No. The world doesn't work that way. Why would the algorithm push something useless out? But again, it may not be useless. You just told people to go away. So you made it useless. We have this phrase in the English language, to render something useless. You have rendered your post useless by pushing people away from it. So you always got to figure out a way to keep them under the post as well.
Okay. We have a question if this is saved. Yes, it is saved.
Hakimi, does this stream get saved? Yes, you can rewatch the replay, guys. So whoever needs to go, I know it's late in the day. Yeah. Marina. If they all agree there's not much reason to open the door for asking questions. Exactly. And this is why it's very crucial that you add your own opinions to your posts. Whenever you're adding tips and tricks, right? Whenever you're adding tips and tricks to your posts, add an opinion too. Add the emotional bit. Why does that advice matter, right? Because if all you're just doing is copy pasting stuff from Google or ChatGPT or Gemini, where is the coach? Where is the service provider? Where are you inside of that advice? So you gotta get people to challenge their own thinking. That's good coaching.
Excellent. Now let me get a bit out from this LinkedIn algorithm and advice to what is really possible. You became an ambassador of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a wild outcome from showing up online consistently. What would you say is the real power of LinkedIn that people still underestimate?
Well, I feel like you just gotta also share stuff that isn't necessarily business. Since day one, I've done that. I've spoken about coming from a small country. I've spoken about supporting the underdog. I've spoken about supporting small creators. I've spoken about Bosnia, my country. I've spoken about being a Muslim. Every year I write a post about Ramadan. Every year. And it's this beautiful educational post that kind of inspires everyone to kind of get together and do more good. It's not a post, telling people, hey, become a Muslim. No, it's an educational post, really, really just living my values, because I firmly believe every single one of us has been in this situation in business where on paper, a client is perfect, right? You can fix their needs, they can pay, and you can start on time and deliver on time. So on paper, the client is perfect. But something about your vibe or something about your beliefs isn't a match. And you can't really know that until you start working with the person, until there's this actual connection. But there is a way to have this connection, to achieve this connection ahead of time before you engage in a contract with someone. And that is by simply sharing content that is more than just business. And I gave you examples of what I do, right? I share my life, I share my beliefs, I share where I come from, I share what I truly, genuinely believe in, and I practice what I preach. I do support small creators out there whenever I'm in the feed and I see an empty post and I leave a comment and then it just goes boom, it goes viral. And then those creators are like, oh my God, I can't believe you commented on my post. Where did you find it? I'm like, LinkedIn just served it. I don't know. I refreshed the feed. I saw it. Bam. I liked it. It's as simple as that. There's no mega mission behind it, right? And then like a lot of people start tagging me in the comments like, Yasmin, can you also comment on my post? I'm like, that's not the way it works. I don't have a list of small creators I find or, like I want to comment on. LinkedIn just serves content out there. And my only rule for supporting others is, number one, it's good stuff. That's the only rule. It's good stuff. I don't care what your following is, man. I don't care if you got 0 followers, if that's your very first post. I don't care if you got 1 million+ followers. If the post sucks or I don't believe in it, I'm just not going to support it. Or if there's something I can contribute because it's the complete opposite, hell yeah, I will comment on it because now I want people to see the other perspective, right? So yeah, that all of this that I just explained contributed over time to me ultimately becoming this huge conduit for people learning about Bosnia. A lot of people have never heard of the name of the country, Bosnia and Herzegovina, until they started following my content. Yeah. I've been told this many, many times. Like, dude, we have never heard of Bosnia until we found you. And that is a fact. And then a lot of clients have visited me in Bosnia. We have had coaching sessions, not online. We've had them in person. My community members, they've been to Bosnia. This is now our 3rd get-together in Sarajevo, right? I think it was last November, November, I think. October. Never mind. There were 70 of us from 19 countries, 22 different passports. 22 different passports, man, in one city. In the middle of freaking Bosnia, in the middle of Sarajevo, right? This small gem in Southeastern Europe. But yeah, over time, again, the more you speak about things that are truly of value to you, and again, it's not just business, the more you now start to do it for a bigger reason, right? For me, it's always been to put my country on the map, to prove to every single person out there that even though you're coming from a super small country, that even though you're coming from a super Muslim or a super Christian, right? Or a super poor or a super rich country, anything is possible. Anything is possible, right? If I can do it, you can do it too. And that was to me like the deeper mission that I keep talking about. Like, I just want to prove to people that anything is possible, man. If you just stick with it long enough, you do a good job, you really do all the right things, with time, things will happen for you. Things will happen for you. And sometimes it's going to feel like you're shouting into the void. Sometimes it's going to feel like you're lost on this journey. But there's a quote. I heard this probably like 20 years ago. And it's so true, man. Good things take time. Great things happen all at once. And for a lot of people, like right now, when they're watching the Yasmin journey unfold, they're seeing the Man of the Year award, right? I received the Man of the Year award. They're seeing me featured in freaking books, in publications, featured in Forbes, the Financial Times, Bloomberg, getting invited to global stages. They're seeing all the #1 rankings, this and that. They're seeing all the money screenshots. They're seeing, all the people talking about the community. They're seeing all the clients talking about how good the coaching is. They're seeing the diplomatic passport in Yasmin's hands. But this was all happening for years and years and years of doing all these small things. And then they just added up, right? So you got to talk about more than just business. If you really want your work to be more worth than just what it's worth, don't just talk about business. Genuinely, don't just talk about business. Let people in on the person behind the business. This is how you also build a great community, because then people start to feel this connection with you and they've never even met you. And then when you finally do meet in person, it's a regular Tuesday. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Like, I was just in Dubai. I returned 2 days ago. I sent a text 11 p.m. local time. And I told them, like, whoever wants to come, here's the location. We're just going to stay in here, record stuff, do LinkedIn comments, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be there at noon. So I sent people the message, 11 p.m. We're going to be there tomorrow at noon. 10 or 11 people, 10 people showed up. I'm just going to keep it at 10. In the middle of freaking Dubai. You know? And there we go. Meetup, done. Get some pics, promote it, brand it as Link Up Meetup. Now it's done. You know, but then people see it on LinkedIn and they're like, oh my God, this must have been so much work. And I'm like, it was literally just one text, you know, in the evening. But yes, it was a lot of work, years and years and years of work, you know, because for people to feel this connection with you to the point where they feel excited to come out and travel from a different emirate, from a different country, and get to as close as where you are, because they really just want to be around you, and they finally want to meet the person behind all the posts, behind all the interactions, behind all the comments, behind all the videos, behind all of the lives and webinars.
Mhm.
Then again, it's a regular Tuesday. Genuinely, like, whoever I meet in person, you know, it's like, hey dude, what's up? Because I know you already. We've interacted a bunch of times.
Mhm.
So it's been a long answer, man, but I feel like this is just to let people know that nothing happens just because.
Mhm.
Things happen because ... And that answer is going to be different for everyone.
I thought of a quote or a poem from Balashevich, who said in Living Free, tvoj steg na svakom gradu je gde ti se neko raduje.
Exactly. I was just
I
about
will
to say
not
takwe.
translate this.
But that is very true. And here I'm literally reading comments here, like as we're doing this, from people from Dubai. Valeria, hey Valeria, the meeting in Dubai was amazing. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's going to be. Also, anyone who wants to join us in Sarajevo in April, the next meetup is in April. Feel free to come over. Even if you're not part of my Link Up community, feel free to come over. Everyone is welcome. You can just hang out with us. You can just see the vibes. Just come on over. Pay for your own ticket. I'll give you recommendations for the hotel. But yeah, we hang out. We just go travel, go places, have dinners, lunches. We work together in the mornings. We comment on LinkedIn Live. People find clients in person, believe it or not, because it's like the first time people are meeting each other in person. And we, go have barbecues or whatever. We go explore the country. So whoever really wants to come, even if you're not part of Link Up at the moment, you're welcome, even if you want to. But yeah, if you're not part of Link Up, what are you doing? Also, that's another question.
Exactly.
See, I just received a message from one of my community members, Zinette. Hey, Zinette, how's it going? She said, I know no one is going to beat me. Happiest early birthday, Yasmin. Zinette, I will tell you this, though. You're second in line. My man, David Breyer, the man behind, is it $7 billion or $9 billion of sales in his career? He called me yesterday. He was like, dude, I didn't want to take any chance. I didn't want to, that's his deep voice. That's David Breyer. Shout out David Breyer. He called me yesterday and was like, just want to wish you a happy birthday and all the burgers in the world to you. So yeah. Anyhow, I'm gonna share something good tomorrow, hopefully, for the birthday post. So yeah, we're gonna have fun.
I have just one more thing about your personal things. I have a question from Ashton Dunworth, mother of 3. Who are you dating, Yasmin? We all want to know. She said, I guess I'm just a good journalist.
Wait a second. Who's asking the question?
Ashton Dunworth.
Okay. I don't do public dating, man. Whoever wants to find out anything about my personal life, they can just DM me, man.
Even if you could date, I don't know when.
No one knows. Like I keep my personal life private.
Yeah.
No one knows. I like to keep it that way, Mm-hmm. I really like to keep it that way. This is also part of the reason why I've never shared photos of my son on LinkedIn, ever. And I'm very protective of that part of my life. Like that is the one part of the personal content that I don't go near.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go near that, love life, relationships, family photos, children photos. I don't go near that. And also, one of the reasons why, respect to everyone who does it, by the way, love for everyone, but that is also part of the reason, that is part of my belief system. I don't engage with those kinds of posts on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Just because, again, I would never post a family photo of mine. I'm very protective of them and not sharing photos online. Yeah, it's just, I don't share that publicly. And I don't think it's anyone's business. Whoever wants to find that out, DM me or meet me in person. Or call my
Okay.
mom up. She'll tell you. Yeah, my mom will tell you. Yeah.
So I we have a lot of questions about things about LinkedIn algorithm and things like that. What works, what doesn't work,
Go
and I
to Richard Vanderblom. Go to my brother who does the analysis. So whatever you
oh,
want to know about the latest and greatest, Richard Vanderblom, he's
mm,
your guy. Also go to Ivana Todorovic from Authored Up.
mm,
Authored Up has, access to millions and millions of posts. Whenever I want to learn anything about the algorithm and it's like something's changed, like some sort of metric, obviously I can kind of pinpoint it myself. Like whenever I have a talk with Ivana, for example, from Authored Up, we're very
mm.
close. Um, I'll sometimes, tell her like, this is what I'm seeing. This is what's happening. Is it true? And she's always like, she's never given me a different answer. She's always like, dude, you're spot on. Because it's like, we know like you're one of like probably the only people in the world who spends that much time
Mhm.
dissecting the platform, who actually cares about understanding what's going on. And yeah, I'll just ask them for confirmation. Like, is it really true? Like Ivana has like real time data. Richard does the I don't even know how frequently it does it, like quarterly algorithm reports. We also have the CEO of Shield Analytics. I forgot his name, Andreas or Andres, or I forgot his name. Sorry, my man, I love you, but I forgot the name. Um, they also share like these benchmarks of impressions and what's considered good, what's considered average, what's considered above average, based on your follower size. Just go to Shield for LinkedIn, Shield Social Index or Shield Index. I forgot what it was, but he shares a lot of those analytics. Again, if I need confirmation, I will ask those people, but for the most part, I'm very capable of just going into the platform and seeing things for myself. I can deduce what's going on.
And
But yeah,
I can say that if you just read Yasmin's posts, it's basically daily masterclass of
it's
how to
yeah, it's
do
always fresh. I write every day, so
that.
nothing I publish on LinkedIn is super old. I write every day. To this day, I write every single day. And that is also, part of the game. You mentioned Kobe Bryant at the very
Mhm.
beginning. You mentioned,
Yeah.
all of those athletes, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan. You could take any Steph Curry.
Yeah.
There we go. My man, my favorite basketball player. Um, it's like no matter how far you are in the journey, you still treat it like day one.
Hmm.
I truly do.
Hmm.
And maybe I shouldn't. There we go. And Andreas Johnson, that's his name, CEO of Shield. So Andreas, shout out, my man.
Hmm.
Um, I still treat it like day one, even though I shouldn't. But there's just this Bosnian inside of me who can't get comfortable.
Hmm.
It's like I'm always kind of running on this mindset that it could be taken away, or it's you got to do better, you got to do more, you got to do more than all of those Westerners. You have it 20 times harder, which these are facts, by the way. Maybe not now for me in this position, but for anyone out there from a small country, it's
Mhm.
very true. These are facts. It is harder for people from smaller countries to grow, to build a business, to build global authority. Speaking of global authority, like this year, we've been ranked consistently into top 20 and top 30, top 20, top 30, depending on like when you look at it. Global LinkedIn influencers in the
Mhm.
world. I'm next to freaking Barack Obama. I'm next to freaking, I don't even know, Alex Hermosi, Bill Gates. You're on those lists. And there's not a single, other than Hermosi and Gary Vee, there's not a single marketing name on those lists in the top 50, in the top 100 even. There's not a single marketing name. It's all politicians, government, global leaders, blah, blah, blah. And I'm, yes, very much proud of that. I stopped paying attention to all of those rankings for the longest time. Last year, they did something different when they started kind of catching podsters and cheaters and things like that. But someone alerted me to this earlier this year, and they're like, dude, you're still running strong. And I'm like, alhamdulillah, first, thank God. But secondly, I feel like it's because the trust and the authority is real. It isn't temporary. It isn't part of some algorithm hack or a sudden surge or, spurt of growth.
Hmm.
It's real, it's built, and it's staying. So I'm very proud of that. For someone from Bosnia to be on all of those lists, don't think I have an ego too, guys. People feel like, oh, Yasmin, he's the kindness, this one and that. Like, I have an ego too. Like, sure, it feels good to be on those lists. Why not? Like, why wouldn't it be? It does mean something because it's telling you, it's verification that, hey, you've done it when you shouldn't have.
Hmm.
All the odds are against you. Not were against you, still are, because you're still from that place. You
Hmm.
still have that name and surname and the ch in the surname, right? You
Yeah.
still have that nationality. You're still a Muslim. You're still XYZ. You're still ABC. There's a list of things. But again, in my mind, it just keeps me motivated. It just keeps me going. This is why I write every day. This is why I comment like a madman. This is why I'm passionate about my work. This is why I keep leveling up in business, in the community. This is why I always come up with new ideas. I'm relentless when it comes to, really leaving my impact and my footprint while I'm alive in this world. This may sound very dark, but we could all be gone tomorrow. Life is short, man.
Yeah.
Life is short. You only live once. So if you're not doing everything to the best of your abilities, what the hell are you doing?
Hmm.
There's a conversation I remember. I totally forgot where I watched it. Maybe it was an Instagram reel. Maybe it was a YouTube short. Maybe it was a podcast. An elderly guy, so a very old, experienced, wise gentleman. He was talking to a very young gun, and this young gun is just partying and doing this and that and just living life to the fullest, right? And then the elderly guy is more worried about impact and long-term purpose. And he's asking him, like, why are you doing that? And, man, like this gives me chills immediately. The young gun responds, because you only live once. And the old guy says, exactly. You only live once. Like, just that difference in tone, it changed my perspective of life, man.
Hmm.
Whoever got the message just now, congratulations to you. If you didn't get the message, I don't know what to tell you, but
Perhaps they'll get it later.
maybe you'll get it later in life.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe you'll get it later in life. But I remember that, again, I don't even remember what it was, podcast, reel, whatever. But just that example, just that intonation, like, you only live once. And it's like, exactly. You only live once.
Hmm.
That changed my whole perspective. This is why I'm not obsessed with money. I'm
Hmm.
obsessed with impact. This is why I'm not chasing more leads, more leads, more this. I'm chasing quality of life. You
Hmm.
know, as a dad, as a solo dad, I'm chasing more quality time. I'm not just chasing, partying and Lamborghinis and the imaginary Instagram life.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like we've gone deep today, man. You're really making me go deep
Yeah.
with these answers, man.
Yeah. So, my last question, out of the bloom, I think this is the best time for becoming entrepreneur, international entrepreneur, if you like. It's one click away if you want, and if you put just if you start like we said today with a comment on the LinkedIn, you can start your business.
100%.
Perhaps it's not easy if you are from Bosnia. Perhaps it's not easy if you're from Slovenia, but it can be done, and we are the proof that it can be done.
101%, my man. 101%. I'm looking at the comments right here. Someone
Mhm.
wrote, Coach Jay, you're not talking about your account restrictions. I've addressed it at the beginning. I said, we're working on it.
Yeah.
Whenever I have a legal update, I will let you know.
Mhm.
Take of that what you will, guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay. do you want to maybe do, like, for the very end, you want to do some rapid fire questions? So here's a challenge for everyone. Do you have time, by the way, Robert?
Yeah.
I'm feeling all right. It's fine. So whoever's in the chat right now, whoever's live with us, drop very short questions right now, and we're gonna go through it one by one, very fast. So super quick questions, okay? Preferably yes or no. preferably asking for a very specific answer. So drop those questions. We're going to put them on the screen, and we're going to respond them one by one really, really fast, really fast. So whoever's watching right now, just drop those questions in if you want to get on the screen. Someone wrote, how did you handle your account restrictions? Evidently, I didn't. I didn't yet. Okay, I didn't yet. I haven't yet. So they're waiting for those questions now because there's a bit of a delay when we do this and when you guys see it. Yasmin, how much, when you make much money, the next step is to chase peace, 100%. And there are phases in life, guys, right? Like now I'm at this place where I'm kind of older and wiser when I can tell you that, money is not the ultimate outcome. Money is great. Money is great, but money is not the ultimate outcome. What's your view on lead magnet posts? Do them, if you will. As simple as that. There, I don't have a problem against lead magnets, but just be very careful about how you ask for people's information. The easiest way, send them to a newsletter, send it over there, but also invite engagement under the posts. See that I was asking, does alt text work on LinkedIn posts? Yes. I've been talking about SEO on LinkedIn for 5 years now. And the AI world and the LLMs and everyone else on LinkedIn is just now catching up. And I'm very proud to say, I told you so. I've been telling you so. And those who have followed me since day one, they know about this. Like, my community members, my clients know about the alt text and all sorts of little SEO tricks on LinkedIn. In my community in LinkUp, we actually have an entire masterclass just on SEO on LinkedIn. I think it's at least an hour and a half, maybe even 2.5 hours long, because there's so much that I've been doing for years. And now it's benefiting me with outside traffic that still leads back to my business, my websites, my LinkedIn. But then he was asking, Jay, can you tell us a little bit more about reposts? Yeah, repost your stuff every day. That's not a problem. There's no penalty. There's no mistake. When you repost your post, I do it. I recommend doing it 6 to 8 hours afterwards. But this is also my personal use case because that's usually the time when my activity starts to kind of go down a cliff, right? For a lot of people, that's maybe after 2 or 3 or 4 hours. So at that point, when you notice like you're no longer getting engagement on that post, it just kind of flatline, repost it once. And it's going to get served to new time zones, new people who might not have seen it earlier. Typically, there's about a 10 or 20% boost in your engagement. How do I get more impressions on my content? If you go back to the very beginning of this live, I feel like we've answered that quite extensively, Abdul.
Absolutely.
Yep. What has been your biggest impact comment? Good question, Laura. I don't know, because I've left at this point tens of thousands of comments on LinkedIn, hundreds of thousands of comments. Heck, yeah, hundreds of thousands.
But it should be in author read up the stats.
So if you really think about it, like I post 4 times per week, right? 3 times sometimes. In the past, I've sometimes done 5. On average, like per post, I'll respond maybe to 200 and then the feed. So it's well over 1,000 comments every week, well over 1,000. And I've been doing this. This is like year 5 now. So that's 1,000 comments times 52 weeks. Maybe there's a week off, I'm sick or something. Like that's 50,000 comments per year that I'm leaving. So what, at least 200, 250, I don't even know, 1,000, 250,000 comments, guys. There you go. People I admire on LinkedIn, everyone who's trying. There's a lot of people who stop trying. They know who they are. What other social platforms are you on that also gives you money? I'm in my community. I'm in LinkUp. And not platforms, but I'm on a lot of stages and I'm on a lot of podcasts. So I'm not doing my content. I'm participating in other people's content. So I'm doing podcasts, I'm doing shows, I'm doing keynotes, I'm doing workshops. All of those things, best believe, are also platforms. They're just not necessarily online platforms, but they give you a lot of money back, Repost your own post or not? Yes, I just explained it, Matyaj, and you have a reason. It's just a nice little boost for the entire engagement. How did you overcome your own imposter syndrome? Dude, I was a rapper. It's like when you're a rapper, like just put on any 50 Cent song, right? Put on any Dr. Dre, any Eminem song, right? Also, you can't see it over here, but there's an Eminem album in the corner. It's like when you're listening to hip hop, it's like I'm the man, I'm number one. Like you can't touch me, you can't beat me, you know? So it's like just listen to some hip hop right before you're about to post on LinkedIn, man. You're gonna see that confidence boost, easily.
Uh, we talked about this before this session. This being a rapper is actually an unfair advantage, isn't it?
It really is because I'm still writing every day. Like I'm not exaggerating when I say I write every day because I can't go to sleep because my mind is just buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. Just now, when I was in Dubai, I was riding with one of my community members, and she's driving her car because she's living there, and we're putting on music, and I'm just rapping like crazy, right? Eminem songs, Corday, Busta Rhymes, Twisted. It's all these songs with like ribbity ribbity rap, right? Because it's so fast. There's so many lyrics right here. And when you have so much content in your own head, like you just kind of have to, you have to have a brain dump. You have to kind of let it out. So for me, writing is me just blowing off steam. It's as easy as that. Sending connection requests every week works. You can send it daily. I always say don't send more than 5 to 10 per day because that can also trigger an algorithm restriction, just so you guys know. Yeah. Also, why would you be sending that many requests? How many people do you actually know? Like, why are you adding strangers? That's always a question that I'm iffy about. Like, why are you adding strangers? You don't know them. Why are they a connection? Why can't you just hit follow? Something to think about, guys. You have impressions and you don't have comments. No idea what this means, Naila. Sorry, genuinely. If you restarted your LinkedIn journey at 0 connections, what are the top 3 things you would do without fail daily? Comment more, check my profile views, and DM one relevant person from my profile views list. What are the basics for monetizing your experience on LinkedIn? Go back to the beginning of this call where we talked about the clarity of your offer and how to optimize your profile so that it actually makes sense when you start posting. So that's the basic. Having an optimized profile, being clear on what you do, who you do it for, what the next step is. And then when you start having engagement, conversations with other people, they're actually landing on something that they can use, that you can actually monetize. What do you think about the service section of LinkedIn? I've never gotten any. I have it, but it's just useless. I wouldn't be surprised if they kill it within 6 months. Who actually engages with your content? A lot of people. Are you asking about me personally? Are we just going, yeah. How important are keywords and headlines? Very. But it's just one part of the equation, Mary Margaret. It's just one part of the equation. You have to think of your LinkedIn activity as your profile, not just your profile, right? Like your entire activity, your banner, your comments, your posts, the topics you're talking about holistically, all of that is your profile in the algorithm. And that is how LinkedIn perceives you. And that is what determines how your content, how your face and name and your headline and everything you do gets pushed in front of other people. So think of your profile as more than just the profile section. It's all of your activity. I always say positioning is everything, but everything is positioning. And this is what I mean by that. Everything you do, every little bit of activity, all of that is positioning. Hashtags, yes or no? Nope. They're outdated and dead. Too many comments, schedule and LinkedIn jail, Leanne. So I just had this conversation with someone yesterday. It's never about the number of comments, guys. Again, I'm Exhibit A right here. I'm Exhibit A. It's never about the number of comments you leave. It's about the repetition patterns in your comments. A lot of people use AI, and that's what gets them banned because AI is literally just regurgitating the same phrase, same length, same pattern, same style. Don't do that. The other problem is people who aren't even using AI, they're still subconsciously following the same pattern, same length, same words. This is what gets you banned because it looks like you're just repeating what you're already saying and you're just doing it 100 different ways. That's what gets you banned. It's not the number of comments. It's patterns of repetition. It looks like AI. It looks like automation. So that's what gets you banned. Is sticking to just one niche important, like in design where you can do much more? Again, I am not against going broad. I'm actually encouraging people, like, go broad. If you can service more people, then you should. If you could build your brand on any other social media platform, which will it be? It's kind of ironic because I'm the guy who hates social media, but LinkedIn is great for business. Instagram. Or does do the newsletter sites count, like Substack? Or yeah, if that counts, then anything that has to do with writing, yeah, Substack, or Instagram if it's visuals, if that doesn't count. So we don't add booking links on our posts, right? You absolutely can, Leah. It's not a problem. But is the booking link the entire point of the post? Or do you still invite people down to stay? How do you deal with target audiences who are traditionally lurkers on LinkedIn? Go where they hang out. There's so many different ways. I've written about this in the past. There's so many different ways you can find lurkers on LinkedIn. So you can check people's reactions, right? Because a lot of people, they react, but they never comment. And for whatever reason, people just look at comments. You can also check your profile views. You can also, in between all of that, hang out wherever those lurkers are hanging out as well. So chances are they're going to be following content that serves them a purpose. So when you're commenting on all of those posts now, there's a chance they're seeing you. They're noticing you over there. So you don't have to seek them out necessarily. You just have to put yourself in front of them. Then they're going to end up on your profile. Watch the profile views. Always, always, always. Profile views, they're the biggest LinkedIn metric. It's not impressions. It's not likes. It's not followers. It's not comments. It's profile views always. But then it's not how many profile views. It's how relevant. That's the crucial part. It's always the crucial. It's like you can get 100,000 profile views today because of a meme. If you don't have a single client over there, what's the point? What problem do people DM you about most? So many things. Genuinely, it's like there's not just one thing, Mohammed. Sorry. So many things. Sometimes I get a lot of likes on my comments, but no connection requests or profile visits. There we go. What's the best strategy to turn engagement into real connections? Check if your profile headline is actually inviting people in. What kind of headline do you have? A lot of people underestimate the headline. The headline matters the most outside of your profile. Because like she just said, even though she's getting engagement in the feed, nothing is bringing people back to the profile. The headline is the one magnet you have. It's literally the biggest magnet you have into bringing people back to your profile. Ivana Dedic, what about AI on LinkedIn? What about AI on LinkedIn? It's everywhere. if there's a specific question, I'll answer, but it's like, it's everywhere. Looking back, which belief about success did you have to unlearn before real growth began for you? Not everyone who's in your comment sections, not everyone who's supporting you publicly actually roots for you. I had to learn this the hard way. There's a lot of jealous souls. There's a lot of fake support. There's a lot of fake creators out there. So that's the one thing I had to unlearn, letting people into my world. And now I'm very, very confident about blocking people and just deleting people out of my life. And that comes with growth. That comes with success. Because people typically hate about you what they wish for in their lives. They see that you have something that they are yet to achieve. You're better than them. They can't stand it, right? At a certain point when you're at the same level, they love it, they're supporting, but the second you grow out of it, they can't stand it. The real faces show. When you're making a lot of money, the real face show. When you succeed with one business, then the second business, then the third business, the real faces start to show. And, sometimes they're going to show up by themselves. They're going to tell you directly. Sometimes you just have to figure it out. But yeah, I had to learn this the hard way. And alhamdulillah, thank God, that's part of growth. That's part of life. Muhammad Hassan is saying, I'm lacking just because don't have a lot of pictures. You don't need a lot of pictures. You can just do text only. Yeah, you can just do text only. Text only is still great. Someone anonymous is asking, do you delete to repost after? Yes, I typically delete it right before I publish the new post. So I post at 12:30 Central European time every day. At 12:20, I'll delete the repost just so it's not duplicated. Just so it's not duplicated.
But you then delete the comments and everything
No,
else?
No. The original post stays.
Okay.
It's just the repost that gets deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Eva Mendieta, why are comments in the English-speaking world so brief? I don't know. But Eva, if you love to write, if you're a chatterbox, we have a phrase for that in English. It's chatterbox. If you love to chat, just do it. Who cares? Because that's authentic to you. Just be yourself 100%.
Mm-hmm.
30 minutes before post and 30 minutes after really reflects on engagement. Nope, no, it doesn't. That's an old rule from like 2022, man. It used to be a rule, genuinely, but it's no longer the rule. Just stay active throughout the day, anytime. Because for the algorithm, it's now a matter of, is this an active user? Is this an active member of the LinkedIn community? That's what decides how your posts get distributed, because the algorithm is constantly learning, right? Constantly, every day, every minute, every waking second. So Matyaj, it's not just 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after. But I will say this: when you publish your post, do stay and engage. Never post and ghost. If I'm about the like this happened last week or 2 weeks before, I had such internet trouble, Robert. I was somewhere and I was texting Laura on WhatsApp, and it's like even the messages came out later. I'm like, can you just go in and see my post? Like, I'm not seeing the numbers refreshing. And then I'm commenting and commenting. On my end, I see the comments get posted, but in the real world, none of them were posted because I had a glitch in my internet.
Mm-hmm.
And you know my rule, never post and ghost. So I just deleted that post. I'm like, I'm not going to do this to my audience. I'm not going to pretend like, hey, I'm posting and everyone should just show up for me. I can't show up for them. I'd never post. I just feel bad, man. It's like the entire point of posting content on LinkedIn is to engage and interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the entire point. And if I can't do even that, I'm simply not going to post that day. So yeah, 2 weeks ago, I think this happened. I had internet trouble. I published a post. I started commenting. Then I had a glitch. I deleted that post. And even deleting the post took me 24 minutes. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Mohammed, what would your audience miss if you stopped? I don't know, man, but I'm human too.
A lot.
I take breaks like anyone else. I skip Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays all the time. If they miss me, they can show up on Monday and they can boost the engagement, I guess. What's your number one tip for writing a post if I'm a complete beginner? Get clear the second you start writing a post. Stop beating around the bush. Skip the long intro. Skip the context. Skip everything. People don't need context. People just need the information. The context is either given or you can write it later. But blessing, this is where a lot of experts have a problem when they're writing LinkedIn posts by themselves. They feel like context is needed. No, like just jump straight into the point, right? Just literally just jump straight into it. That's the number one lesson you will ever hear about writing on LinkedIn. Thomas, how do you have time reading all the posts to reply? Well, I just log in and whatever I see, and that's it. I don't anymore, at least. I don't read hundreds of posts anymore per day. I have a pretty optimized feed. I see who I want to see, and then I also get some LinkedIn recommendations here and there. That's it. I'll comment for like 15 or 30 minutes in the morning. I'll still do maybe 20, maybe 50 comments, depends on the feed, depending on how fast I am. And then I'll stay for an hour at least on my post. I'll do anywhere between 150 to 250 replies specifically. And then during the day, I'll come back to my post. I'll be in the feed 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. But yeah, that's how I find time. It's structured. That's all. Naila saying, if you have impressions but comments or none of, what does it indicate? Well, I think we explained this earlier, Naila. It indicates that something is not helping your audience engage. Like it's being served, but you're not allowing people to stay under the post. So it could be the quality of the content. It could be like literally the quality of the writing. It could also be an entirely missed topic. There's a billion different reasons why it could be happening. Like I would have to literally look at your profile, your positioning, your content, your style of writing. This is why this answer can never be the same for everyone. This is why you can't have copy-paste templates on LinkedIn that work for everyone. No, they don't. This is why coaching is necessary. This is why I have a job. This is why I have a career, because every use case is different. So Kana, how many times a week should I post content to grow effectively in 22? 3 to 4 times. 3 to 4 times, that's my recommended amount of posts. But even if you're doing 5 or 6, it's fine. Just know that posting daily is not necessary. It's never going to be necessary. I don't care who says it. Posting daily is not necessary. Case in point, this guy, I have never done daily posts. Ever. And a lot of people get shocked when they hear that. They're like, are you sure? Because we see you in the feed every day. I'm like, sure, you see my comments, or you see my posts that are living in the feed still, or you see posts about me. But I only post 3 to 4 times per week. That's all. David is asking, is LinkedIn Premium worth it? Yes, genuinely yes. Because there's a big discrepancy between the features you get on the freemium, like the number of connection requests, personalized connection requests, the number of in-mails, profile views, analytics, things like that. So yeah, LinkedIn Premium is definitely worth it. I never thought I would say this, but LinkedIn Premium is worth it. What conversations are you avoiding that your audience needs? I don't think I'm avoiding any conversations. Heck, I just called out LinkedIn last week. No fear.
Confirm.
Yeah, I don't escape conversations. I might block people because they're annoying and they're idiots, but yeah, I'm not escaping anything. I needed that every time just before posting. I felt like an imposter. There we go. A win is a win. Robert, are you tired?
No, I'm just reading what is. I'm basically not doing the work. You are doing it.
There we go. Thomas is asking, I'm finding it hard to read all the posts and leave meaningful comments and not feel overwhelmed with all the information. Also, because this is why you got to be a fast reader. You got to learn speed reading. Do you count responses to comments on your posts? LinkedIn counts them. Like you can just go to your analytics. LinkedIn will show you how many times you commented. But like I said, like personally, I get so much more engagement than I can physically handle. Like even if I literally stayed 24 hours on every one of my posts, I would still not be able to respond to every comment. This is why I've created a feeling of community, and I'm so proud of it, where people can talk to each other. They don't even need me to respond. Like that's the beauty of all of this. Like Robert knows this. Like he's under every single one of my posts. Robert, do you care if I respond or not?
Not really.
Exactly. Like sure, it's good. It's a feeling, right? But ultimately,
I only expect you to respond if I'm talking about onions.
There we go. No, but genuinely, like that's something that we have to talk about, right? If you create a genuine community under your LinkedIn post, like people are going to talk to each other. People are going to talk to each other, and it's not necessarily necessary for the original creator, for the author of the posts to respond. And that's what I'm extremely proud of, to actually have built an actual community. Nasia is asking how to deal with having a legacy network when you change what you do and who you do it for. Announce it, tell people in a post. People forget to do this and optimize your profile genuinely. But then obviously there's going to be this rebuilding period. It's also going to be this relearning period for the algorithm. The algorithm now has to relearn who you are. That's also a thing. So keep that in mind as well. It's not going to be just an easy switch, but you do have to inform people genuinely.
And I think you said we should do it on Sunday.
You can, yeah. You can. Sundays are great on LinkedIn, by the way. I wish I could do Sundays, but I spend them with my son, and I spend it on quality time. Mara is like, when can we expect your next newsletter? Tomorrow, birthday? What do people do differently after engaging with you? Ask them. I don't know, man. There's too many of them to count.
A lot.
You mean by getting coached by me or engaging with me? Those are two different answers. And when they're getting coached by me, they're winning. So what's the best way to get people clicking to see your profile? Better headline and better comments. Genuinely. The headline is so underrated for a lot of people. So underrated, man. It's like, if you sound like everyone else, no one's going to be clicking on your profile. That's just a fact. Robert, how do you open up a conversation in DM? Hey, Robert, I loved your comment on my LinkedIn Live just now. How's it going, my man? Did you find anything else useful? Find something that you already have in common. This was an example of finding something you already have in common. So if someone left a comment on a post that you also engaged with, hey, I saw you also wrote on Robert's LinkedIn Live post. I kind of agree with you as well. Anyway, hope you're having a great day, man. Like literally just leave all the sales conversations out of it, genuinely. Or check your profile views. Check your profile views. And then tell them, hey, Robert, I saw you landed on my profile today. Anything that brought you there, I'm curious. What brought you to my profile? Literally just ask people. There's not a script. Like just reach out and be human. That's it. Scheduling posts is killing reach or not? All of my data says yes. All of my data says yes. And we also have other data that says yes. I can tell you the reason why, but I can't tell you publicly the reason why. So do with that as you please. How far can the algorithm push a truant account posting regarding the quality I have no idea what this question means. I feel like
Mm,
I have a hunch of what it means, but like I have to be clear on what it means. Study how far can the algorithm push a true account posting regarding the look right now? Posts live for weeks in the feed, and this has never happened in the history of LinkedIn.
mm,
For weeks and months, for weeks and months. So that's a great sign. Video post better for reach or engagement, or video post is better for authority building, not for engagement, not for reach. 100% not for reach. No matter what LinkedIn is telling you, LinkedIn consistently, LinkedIn videos are the worst performing format that we have. Argue with a wall, whoever you are out there. Like just check your videos. Lowest number of views. But in terms of authority building, in terms of genuine showing up as an expert, psychologically, videos simply communicate more. They simply communicate more because there's more information being transferred to the brain of your audience, right? Visuals, behavior, eye contact, mouth movement, hand gestures, right? Mannerisms, accent, all of these things. So videos simply communicate more, psychologically speaking. So videos are great for that, for authority building, not necessarily for reach. Hell no. How do I actually build community? Rewatch this entire life.
yeah, exactly.
You're the one in charge of picking the comments, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking if there's something
Okay,
more.
let's do 5 more, and then we're gonna call it quits. So 5
Oh,
more comments, and then that's it, people. Question, Yinka. Hey, Yinka, how's it going? What are you most excited about for 2026 for my business and for your offers? I wish I could tell you, Yinka, but I'm keeping it under wraps. I have new things coming up. I wish I could tell you, but I can't tell you because then it wouldn't be a surprise, right? But yeah, you know me, I'm always working on something. Tomorrow, I might actually give you a glimpse on my birthday posts. There you go. Sandra, is it better to eliminate a post that did not perform or keep it? Look, I have ego too. I'm a human being. So I always tell people if it's bothering you that a post sucked, just delete it. You want to know, but there's an actual real reason behind this. No one saw it anyhow.
yeah, exactly.
No one saw the post anyhow. So who's going to know that you deleted it? Just delete it. It's fine. Then you're going to have like other people like, oh, it's a bad move. Like, leave it. It's proof that you're also human. No one saw it, dude. Like, who cares? If it's bothering me, it's bothering. I'm a human being with feelings, with ego. It's fine. Just delete it. It's like no. Again, Sandra, no one saw it anyhow. If you feel like deleting it, just delete it. There's no penalty for it. Miriam, you mentioned text only posts. Do you think it's good for people with a small following? Text only posts are great for everyone. I really want to go back to text only, man. I miss text only, but I have so many visuals, right? I do so many keynotes. I do so many workshops. I do so much with people, meeting people in person, that it's just a disservice to my brand not to share all of these visuals. Sometimes I hate adding visuals to my post because I really just don't want to. Just let me write, man. It's just much more relaxing, when you don't got to think about that part of content as well. So Medium, definitely text only. It works. It just works, but it has to be well written. It has to be written well. Mohammed Abedabi, I'm just sorry. If a follower count is a vanity metric, what's the new status symbol for creators and brands in 2026 in your view? Quality of engagement, meaning community. That's number one. And number two, all the stuff no one else sees, money in your bank account. That's the main status symbol, man. Because if you're comfortable posting and not receiving any money for it, do it. It's fine. But if you're also like at that point where you've made enough money and now you're just posting for fun, do it. You don't got to show off your Lamborghini. You don't got to show off your screenshots from Stripe. You have enough money, alhamdulillah, thank God. Now just keep posting. Keep posting. That to me, that's the biggest status symbol. Not caring about what other people think, not caring about other people's approval, not caring about the algorithm's approval. You're just doing it because you want to impact people and because you want to share valuable information with other people out there in the world. How can Taib, how can I attract clients on LinkedIn as a creative designer? Show off your work. But also, here's one bit of advice that changed my thinking around content in general. This goes for YouTube, goes for newsletters, goes for websites, goes for LinkedIn posts, specifically Instagram Reels. Whenever you're showing your work, like the actual finished product, don't just show that. Show your thinking behind it. A lot of people never do this. A lot of designers, specifically, a lot of visual people, right, who are in the visual design space, whether graphic designers, video editors, website designers, doesn't matter. Show your clients how you got to that particular point, why certain decisions were made in terms of layout, in terms of color, in terms of everything around what you've just built. Show your thinking. That's your real portfolio. It's not the work that you've done, it's your thinking. And that is what gets you hired. Trust me on this. Your thinking is what gets you hired.
I think you nailed it with this, because I think it's perhaps for me the most important advice you have given this evening, because most of other things I already knew. But thank you. It was.
Of course you knew, man.
Yeah.
You've been with me for years now, man.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. It was
and he's in LinkedIn as well. So Robert gets to learn the stuff that I almost never share on LinkedIn, or he gets to have an extended version of everything in master classes. And so
thank you. And I really enjoyed this. You remind me, of course, of many things that we usually forget, even though we know them, but we don't really implement them daily. It's kind of really valuable to be reminded. And have a great evening.
Thank you. By the way, I have a question for you.
Yeah, ask me.
Have you ever had 1,000 comments on a LinkedIn post?
No, never.
Congratulations. Today's your first.
Oh, yes. And thanks to you.
So this event post crossed 1,000 comments, Robert. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah. Also, to everyone who just watched us, thank you. If you're rewatching it, reach out. The link is somewhere. It's supposed to be somewhere here.
Just a second. How do I?
There you go. So reach out to Robert. Reach out to me. I run a community. I coach people. I travel the world. I'm on stages. We're just doing good work, man. Thank God. We're doing good work and we're impacting people's lives. That's all that matters. So thank you for joining us, guys. I'm hungry, genuinely. I'm going to go outside and grab dinner now. And tomorrow I got to celebrate my birthday, man. So if I also don't end up posting today, guys, pardon me, but I deserve a break. So,
You've given enough today.
I have a really beautiful post that I'm preparing. It's still not done. I'm going to probably finish it in the morning. But yeah. There you go.
Thank you. And bon appetit.
Thank you, guys. Bye for now.